Do you want to come see the garden with me? So this one in this pot here, just the other day I planted the dwarf pea called Blue Bantam, as well as some seeds on this side of a nasturtium called Milkmaid. So hopefully the nasturtium is going to grow up, climb up the trellis, and then also the dwarf pea will on the other side as well. But the dwarf pea is only supposed to get about 40 to 50 centimeters high, so hopefully this trellis will just add a little bit of support that it needs to stand up and protect it from some of the stronger winds that we get here sometimes. And then the Milkmaid nasturtium will be able to go all the way up the top, and it should look really pretty. So I'm really excited to try that. So everything's looking really nice. Would love to have more growing, but we're kind of in the middle because it's autumn. Can you see all my beans here? I'm letting them all dry out. I'm so excited when I get to harvest them. So as I'm rubbing them, they're not really like crispy, like the leaves are definitely crispy, but these are still soft, and you can see some of them have color at the back there. Some of them have a bit more color, but they're not that crispy feeling that I want to know that then they're ready to crack open and harvest the seeds. They're definitely getting there. And some of them still feel kind of a little bit damp. We did have some rain yesterday, a little bit this morning. So these ones are all along the front here. These are dragon's tongue bush beans. And so they have that beautiful purple color. And so they were all on this side and around past the marigolds. On this side, we had the black Valentine bean. Look how big these pods are. I'd love to use this space to grow something else as we're going into winter, but I just really want to collect the seeds. So for now, I'm letting it keep its space until I can collect all the seeds from them and then pull them out and plant something else. And see along here, I've just planted these straight from ones that I bought in the shops, because we didn't need them anymore and I didn't want them to go to waste. So I've planted them in the garden because if they grow, then awesome. If not, well then it's nothing to be wasted, and I can put it into the compost if I need to. You can see here some of the little gem lettuce that I've planted out. These were transplants. This little tiny thing here, that's a perpetual spinach seedling. And you can see up here is my stevia plant. This is the sugar plant. Down here is Chioggia. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but there are 3 bunches. There's 3 bunches there. So there's a couple of seeds that were all planted together, and I transplanted them out here to see how they go. And then over the other side, let's just sneak back around again so we can see. So this is my stevia plant that's gone to seed, or has flowered, or has started to bolt. So beforehand, it just had the leaves on it. It didn't have any flower buds at the top. It was just all leaves and growth like that. And then it started to get these little bunches of white flowers there. And it's had so many pollinators on it, so many bees, so many butterflies. It's been awesome. And then they started to dry up. Then they get all fuzzy. They get all fuzzy like that. I'll show you a single seed. Look, there's a few. Those are the seeds there. Tiny. They've got like little parachutes, so they're gonna blow them in the wind. This is a red Welsh onion, so it's like a spring onion or a bunching onion, and there's a tiny little one there as well. So some of these leaves are a bit yellow, so I'm not sure if it's had too much water or if it's just, oh gosh, don't pull too much. I did purposefully plant it in a clump. It was a seed start and I transplanted it out a little while ago now, maybe about a week or so. So in this spot here, about a week ago, I planted some of these It's a blue shelling snow pea from MI Gardener. So it doesn't look from the packet that it's going to be like a regular flat snow pea. And it's got like that purpley blue hue, which I just think is really cool. So I'm really excited to see that one pop up. I've got some of these in a container up on our deck growing, but I want to have as many peas as possible because we really like them. Even though I haven't tried this variety before, I was just super keen to try a whole bunch of different peas. So yeah, looking forward to that. But the cucumber melon looks really great now. It's just because I did have Kajari melon right next to it, but look at it. Isn't that pretty? It's doing great now, but it's focusing a lot on its growth. We haven't actually had a lot of little cucumber melons growing. Can you see this one up here? That tiny one? There's been a lot of leaves and a lot of growth recently, but not a lot of fruit. So I'm not sure how much longer I want to leave that there because I really do want to get some peas growing. So it might not have much more time left in the garden. In our middle bed, I've still got some of the marigolds out the front, and I've got some little seedlings that I popped in a while ago now. These ones at the front here, they're perpetual spinach because I really like it. It gets a lot bigger, and I had a lot in summer. I'm not sure if it's just, I don't know, I'm still learning, but the weather and can be a bit temperamental. So maybe these are too shaded now, I'm not sure, but actually they're still looking quite healthy. So I've got 2 little perpetual spinach plants there. And then underneath the capsicums here, I've just got some more little gem lettuce. And around underneath the capsicum, I've got a whole bunch more of lettuce there to pick from. So it's been really good. And you can see I've got 2 capsicum plants here. The bottom of one there and the bottom of one there. So it's been really unfortunate. A lot of our capsicums have had stings from fruit fly. This is a little lure I've got, and I have also sprayed the leaves previously with an eco spray called Spinosad. So it's supposed to lure them, and then when they eat it, it's supposed to kill them, because they're really hard to get on top of once they get into your garden. But we've still had quite a lot of capsicums just drop off and rot. And I feel like this one has already been stung. There's like little black pinprick dots on the surface, and it's kind of got a bit of a yellow tinge when it's still not super big, whereas the other sides will usually look like a nice green. On the other side of this one, it also looks slightly yellower with a couple of possible pinpricks. It's tricky for me to tell still because I'm still learning. But see, this one looks alright in here, but it's hard. I think I've gotten 1 capsicum, maybe 2, from the whole time I've had them, and I planted them last August. The plants look great, like they've been really good. I've had to support them really well because they get so heavy laden with fruit that the branches will break off if I don't support them. So I've had plenty of fruit, but haven't been able to really eat any because of the fruit fly. So yeah, still learning there, we'll see. Down here underneath, there's just two carrots. They're the black nebula carrots down there. So I sowed them back on it's got my tag, says the 3rd of February. So it's a big lesson in patience doing this garden, just realizing how long it takes for everything to grow. So they're looking good and healthy though, so I'm really excited for them. Some more black nebula carrots and the sizes they are. I showed these in a video just the other day when I did a video on how to sow some Paris Market carrots, which is the same for all carrots. So go check that out. But these ones, they look really good. But yeah, so these ones were planted the 16th of March. And that's how big they are at the moment. But they're looking great, so I'm excited for them to come up more. So this netting I've got here, the way that I set it up is I have some of this piping, some of this conduit, and we just worked out the size that we wanted for our beds. And I put just one in at a time, about that deep, and then you put the black just slightly on the top of it, and that's what just holds it in place. So you do it down there, so there will be one of these white poles, in this side, one that side, and the same on that side and that side. When I first set my beds up, I had it all the way along there, and when I did do that, I did have another supporting pole across the top, and we just zip tied the pole to the round pieces here, and I think we had like 3 or 4 arches just to keep it stable, and that was to just protect the new seedlings while they were young. All right, let's take a look under here. So I have some of my brassicas under here. So brassicas are things like broccoli, kale, cauliflower, some of those cold vegetables. I don't know exactly all of them, but this is what I've been learning. And you're coming along with me. So this one is blue curled Scotch kale. It's all like ruffly, which I think is kind of neat. And that's the same, that one over there. This one and this one over here, they are dino kale, or they're also called Nero di Toscani or something like that. I can't remember. But they do kind of look to me like old dinosaur leathery skin. I do keep checking them regularly to see if anything has been laying eggs on them. The reason I have the netting on is because these fake decoys, which don't actually do a whole lot, but I think they look pretty now anyway, these white butterflies, they can also be called cabbage butterfly, and you can get cabbage moths, but I think we have the cabbage butterfly here in Australia. I'm not sure if they're the same thing, like if the cabbage moth is the same as the cabbage butterfly. Regardless, these little decoy things here, they represent the cabbage butterfly, which comes out and likes to lay eggs on brassicas and some of your other plants. You can see I've actually also got their radishes all along the edges over there. There's a few different types of radishes in this bed, I'll show you. And so the butterfly likes to lay its eggs on them as well. And the eggs will then hatch out into little worms, or just little caterpillars really. And they will then come out and eat through the leaves, which is neat for them, not great for us. And so that's why I have them all protected under here, because they can lay a lot of eggs. And so this is also just giving the plants a little bit of extra shade as well. So this is a mini cauliflower. So I've only got one cauliflower and one broccoli. This is a purple sprouting broccoli. They're the only broccoli and cauliflower plants I have yet in the garden. I grew these ones, the cauliflower, broccoli and kale. I grew them from seed, and I still have a couple seedlings left that I'm hoping to pop into the garden. It's just a matter of space. I grew so many. I started so many plants, and now I don't have the space to plant them. So I've been giving some to friends that garden, and also am just trying to work out where else I can squeeze a few in. So we'll see. We might see some more in another time. So the radishes all along the back there that you can see up until this point, all of those ones are French breakfast radish. And you can see there's a couple along here, just a few starting to poke their little heads up. They're China rose radish, and the radish is popping up here. These I've only just re-sown recently because they were getting eaten, and you can see new ones all popping up here. They are watermelon radish, as well as over the side here. They're also watermelon radish over there. And these little ones are watermelon radish. So radish is something that's really good to pop in around plants. See how much empty space I have. So actually all in here, I've planted more radish seeds quite recently, and they are sparkler radish, I believe. I just got them the other day. So they're sparkler radish. So I'm not much for eating radish raw, but I'm pretty keen to have them roasted. So I've been trying to sow as many as I can so that we can actually eat the things that we're growing. That was part of the plan for this. This gardening is a hobby of mine, but I also would like to eat what I grow, as I think most people would. Down in this cute little spot, which is a little bit shaded, so I'm trying to keep an eye on that. So down here we've got some bunching onions. So these are white Lisbon bunching onions, as well as, oh sorry, no, these ones here at the front, this one and this one, they're American flag leek. And I've also got some American flag leek over here. So these ones along here. There's 3 bunches there. So a few things I'm planting in bunches you might see. Same as these ones over here. These are beetroots in bunches, and they are, I think they're early wonder beetroots. And if you have seen Charles Dowdings and some of his videos, he likes to grow a lot of his root vegetables and other sorts of things in bunches, because he says that as they grow, they just sort of spread out from one another. So that's what I'm trying. Along the base here of my middle bed, I've got some peas. They're called Green Feast. So I've never tried those ones before either, but I'm going to give it a crack. And this whole thing here, which is not looking super great and hasn't been great the whole time it's been growing. But this is a cucumber. This is Parisian pickling cucumber. You can see this big one here. Just for fun, I've been letting this one just grow. And you can see all of these little black spiky things. They are spiky, but you can just quite easily rub them off with your thumb. It's not spiking me to do that as long as you start from the top and go down. So if you get cucumbers that don't have the bumps on them, they're called burpless. But if they do, they're not burpless. And so when I pick them, I just wipe off all the spikes and then they're fine to just eat. So this plant has been sick with aphids and fungal infections, and if you can see, let me find one for you. Can you see? There is a little yellow and black lady beetle about there, and there's a few other ones in the garden like that. So those lady beetles, they're not like the orange lady beetles that are good in that they help like eat aphids and things like that, which there have been some on this plant because it has aphids. But the yellow ones, they are commonly around when your plants have a fungal infection. So that's why I have them here. And that's another reason why I'm thinking quite soon I'll take this plant out. It's taken a long time to grow. I planted it back in December last year, and it's now into April, and I don't really want the fungal infection to keep spreading. I had a fungal infection on my Kajari melon plant as well, so I'm wanting to get this out soon. So next time you see a video, there might not be the Parisian pickling cucumber or gherkin in the garden. Can you see that little guy there? So aphids like new growth. So that's what he could be doing, going looking for the aphids. I can see. Can you see dark green spots in that spiral? They're aphids. So this tomato here is a Tommy Toe tomato, and it's just going crazy. I've just let it go. So I was trimming off all the branches that shot off when they looked a bit sick. So this one here actually is starting to look a bit sick. See how it's got some yellow and brownish leaves? I'll probably cut that off soon. See up there, that's where it attaches to the main stalk. And then this has shot out from the side and its growth goes up and up. And that's what indeterminate tomato plants do. They don't have a determined time or amount of fruit that they put off. They just keep growing while they can. And it's that's what it's doing. And so I've let it, because all this new growth looks beautiful and lush and green and healthy. So that's why I've decided to leave it growing. And look at all the bunches of fruit that there are still. And there's still more to come. And oh man, I don't know about you, but I love the smell of tomato leaves. It's just like an addictive something. I just love the smell of it. And so at the bottom of the tomato tomato, we have these peas growing. These are my favorite and quite common. They're sugar snap peas, so we are super excited for those to get growing. And then we've got the American flag leeks growing here in bunches. And then I have a squash plant. So this is green squash. Can you see that little cutie one there? So it's getting probably a bit too cold for it, and can you see the spots? And look, what do we know about that beetle? Fungal infection. So there's powdery mildew on this plant. I've been meaning to cut off this leaf. I've been trying to grow this plant up vertically, but you can see that there is some powdery mildew at the bottom. So I'm just trying this, and if it might just be getting too cold for it, but I want to try it. So I'm going to keep going with that. Keep growing it up, and as it continues to grow up, I'll just keep supporting it to the 2 trellis sticks that I have there. Then here I've got some perpetual spinach, some baby spinach, and some Bloomsdale spinach. So just 3 little random spinach friends there, as well as some carrots along here. They're curator carrot, and 3 Napa cabbages here. So these ones I also grew from seed, and they didn't seem to get as many little eggs on them from the white butterfly as the others did. So that's why I was quite happy to plant them over here. Then here again, that's the row of the black nebula carrots. And then here I've got some golden beetroots that I actually bought as seedlings and planted out. This one here, this is actually perpetual spinach. It's looking a bit wilty today. Can you see the root there? That's because I've just been watering it and harvesting. You just harvest from the bottom. Continuously harvest the bottom leaves, and it gets all like a chunky root like that, but that's how you can keep collecting more and more. It's about done now though, but that's okay because I've got some more growing. This one here is also some beetroot. This one might be early wonder, or it could be Chioggia. I'm not sure actually, I can't remember, and I didn't put a stick in, but that's in a bunch again as well. Oh look, I did put a stick in, look at me. It's early wonder beet. That's why I use sticks. And here, these are also some golden beetroot, so they were a seedling. And here, there's some more capsicum plants here. There's one, and this one. This was I got them in a punnet. There was the 2 of them, and these ones are the mini sweet chocolate capsicums. But they've also had issues with the fruit fly. I think I can see stings on that one as well. So we'll just see. It's all learning. And of course my little strawberry plant down here. It looks beautiful. I know there's one hiding in here somewhere. Look at that. Look at that. That one looks awesome. I would love to leave it for my nephew, but I don't know. The birds might get it. So this one's going to be mine. I'm just going to eat it right now. It's really nice. You know what's better is when you eat it when it's still a little bit warm. I think the taste is sweeter then. That's my compost bin. My beautiful Redmond cactus zinnias here. I love how bright they are. And then there's just the bags of garlic. Got 5 bags of garlic. Look, you can see this tiny one just poking its head out. And there. Got the oregano there, some parsley, which I've been harvesting off, coriander, haven't been harvesting enough, and some chives down the end. And then the polar bear zinnia, still beautiful. If you don't have zinnias, I definitely would encourage you to get zinnias. The bees and the butterflies love them, and they just make it such a pretty space out here. Not just because of the beautiful flowers, but because of the butterflies that they bring. It's just gorgeous. I love being out here.